Hey, something happened with the stream, but seems to be working now. So, good morning. How was your weekend? My weekend was good, very calm. Kids kids had fun. I downloaded a dice. Where's the camera? So I can have like one dice. Um, so you can play. Hey, Tormod, we are new. Welcome. Good morning, Gux6. Svetlin. Fantastic. Throw me some topics. Rollmaster in the future. That's a good topic. Ah, nice Captain Jetlag. Surfing and warm weather. Here it's not warm weather. So, give me some topics so we can get going. Surfer squid. All right. Nomad turtle merchant. Moving fortress. Evil rocket scientist. That's cool. That's 4 topics. Or is it Rollmaster in the future? Or is that uh, in conjunction with the dice? Dark Buddha Rising, Top Hat. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's throw the dice. Number 4. So that is Evil Rocket Scientist. All right. You see, it's number 4. It doesn't matter. Evil Rocket Scientist. Scientist by Michal. Hey, good morning, Andy. It's my hand, yeah. Rigged online, yeah. I have to give the Dice app like a 1-star review. You're obviously rigged. Right, so the topic was evil rocket scientist. I think I will paint. And paint a goblin sitting on a flying rocket. I had lunch at a restaurant close by. Um, and I had some duck soup. It was really, really tasty. I was really surprised by the good quality of the duck soup. And it wasn't like Chinese or anything. It was just like a pretty good quality, you know. It wasn't like a Michelin star restaurant or anything, but it was definitely not like standard home cooking. Hey, Kuiba. So the goblin is gonna sit. I think he could be holding a spanner. I want to try to capture the motion of him holding on, right? So let's hide that leg. He could be a bit fat actually, because goblins are usually skinny, but maybe goblin scientists, they just like to eat and do science. That could be a funny little. My favorite Latvian food, it's I think it's Polish. This typical like dumplings. In Latvian, they're called pelmeni. Very tasty. But as I'm kind of gluten intolerant, that had to quickly be removed from my diet, which is a shame because I really love those, especially like the fried dumpling. Oh, that was so good. No, this goblin actually, he needs a coat. Can't can't be a scientist without a lab coat. Dear Bard. Right, so it's Russian then. Um, yeah, they're so tasty. They're not really good food per se, um, but they're pretty good. They're pretty tasty, like a quick lunch thing. You shouldn't eat it too often. It's not good for you at all because it doesn't contain anything. And what's in them, they vary. They vary a lot in what's inside. Like lamb or beef or vegetables or cheese or whatever. You know. But those are pretty tasty. But then also like um, there's a lot of German influences in Latvian traditional food as well. So there's lots of sausages and meat and potatoes and these things. It's not. Um, it's very. You can see who's occupied Latvians, Germans and Russian. You can see that in their food. Yeah. They're so tasty. You can eat a lot of them for sure, like you said. But yeah, they're not good for you at all. I don't know if he's an actual goblin. It seems to be more like a troll of some sort, but whatever. This is the mad scientist, rocket scientist, evil rocket scientist. But there's also all these uh, this modern Latvian food that's really, really tasty. You know, like really good quality food, modern, with a kind of Latvian twist to them. They're really, really tasty. They do very, very good food at some restaurants, and some restaurants are still very old style restaurants, not modern, and the food reflects that as well. The food is very, you know, in most like generic restaurants, it's very like homely food, or it's just bland, kind of fast foody style food, you know. But then you have these modern cuisine, which is really, really tasty. I like food. I think food is really interesting that you can make it taste so differently with the same ingredient or same style of ingredients, just someone who knows what they're doing properly and make really good food. And I love it that those times when you eat something that's so tasty, um, you have like no idea how you would even start yourself, you know, cooking it. Linus Carlson. Um, um, I don't really do a lot of that. I used to do that many years ago when I was starting to learn. But you know, everyone should do still life and so on. But I observe a lot. Like I'm the weird guy in the corner of a party looking at everyone. uh, yeah, but it's true. Even though it sounds funny, I um, I do observe a lot and try to remember things like that. I practice that aspect as well. Like on this stream, many times I've um, tried to capture the memory of whatever I'm trying to reference, so I don't look at references doing my streams. Um, I think like everyone has the information in there somewhere. I'm not saying I'm some sort of autistic super person that can have perfect recall, um, but I like to practice it. If not, I can just make it up as I go along, um, as long as the function is the same, you know. But no, I don't do a lot of observational drawings. I should probably do more. I'm probably doing a lot of wrong things, but who knows? I don't have all the answers either to this art thing. I just like to do it, design things my way. Gaxix. I can that would be fun. Do a cooking show. I am pretty good at cooking actually. It's the same principle like drawing. You practice the fundamentals, which like in cooking is timing and cutting, right? And combining ingredients, and the more you practice them, the better you understand what's needed. Same with art. Like in theory, you're just moving your hand, and in cooking, you're just moving your hand. Choosing ingredients is the same as like choosing um, your colors, I guess. It's very um, satisfying cooking food, especially when you can, share it with someone. It's fun. Let's make him angry instead, because he has to be evil, right? Oh, Michael, that's really cool. Yeah, we should cook someday. Anyways, as in topic of references, Michael, I think what I oh no, who was it that asked it for you? Uh, Observational drawings. Linus. Um, what I used to do also with practicing my visual library was whenever I was drawing something, I tried to draw it as far as I could from memory, and then um, I would look up the actual thing, like let's say anatomy, for example. It's a good example. Uh, you draw a shoulder, the shoulder system, and you draw as much as you can from your mind, mental reference, and really try your best to make it work. Sit there and struggle with it, and then go and look up the actual what it actually looked like, and then go back to your drawing and adjust it, or your painting if you could like go and change it so it's correct, and you try your best to correct it, and then you continue drawing and do whatever you do to the next drawing, and uh, and then you try to recall the same information that you uh, did a study of previously as you're drawing the shoulder next time, and you keep doing kind of like that. So you for me, my mind works better when I do it in chunks. If I go and learn the whole body, my mind's not gonna remember it as well as if I do it like incrementally in small sections. The information sticks better because I have to figure it out, right? If I just visually copy, that information doesn't stick that well in my head. And when I started, I just realized that because I became really great at copying, and it's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to come up with things, right? Invent things. So I had to adjust my trajectory a bit. So it could be worth experimenting with, see how your brain works um, by doing adjustments after the fact that you have done your best from your mind, really struggling, try to empty the tank of knowledge that you have on the inside. Hey, Golden Tigers, good morning. And Svensen. They're barred. They're probably on the internet somewhere. A lot of studies, uh, but most of studies are in sketchbooks and so on. But some digital studies are online from years ago, but maybe most of them are down. My old host is not showing them anymore. But like I said, uh, that's just how my mind works. It's not necessarily the one true way, right? It's just how I like to learn. Hmm. I like I like drawing a lot. I think I really enjoy coming up with something from my own mind. I think that's what I enjoy the most with being able to draw. Like a long time, I enjoyed copying. Like I enjoyed the fact that I could be close to something, and, you know, copy something that looks like the original. I found pleasure in that, but um, then always at the back of my head, I've always enjoyed just being creative. You like using the knowledge to do something that's from the inside, you know. So that's why for a couple of years I tried fine art, but it wasn't really at the time, at least, anything for me. This goes on the hurricane way. Well, I think it's important, like on a topic of learning, it's important to figure yourself out. You know, how does my brain work? And if you start rationalizing your kind of your own process of storing information, uh, chances are that you'll be able to adjust your learning curve dramatically and learn more efficient. Because some people learn faster with the same practice, like let's say like that you do, and I think it's all down to like how their mind works with the technique versus like how your own mind works. But then there's also general things that you do have to do in a specific way. Well, not have to, but dear Bard, in this instance, um, well, in this instance, I knew I wanted to paint. Um, I knew the silhouette would be easy, simple, not easy, simple, so that I knew the design wouldn't be complicated. Um, so I knew that all I needed to do was focus on rendering what's there, rather than figuring the design out. So I could easily, easily, so I could just easily start with a basic blocking. But in generally, yeah, that is an easy way to do things. You do your shapes, and then draw the inside of them. That's generally the easier way to go. You'll notice also a lot of artists do that. I think it's easy to, like when you're doing more simpler things like shape-wise, I think blocking first versus sketching is easier, because you don't need to, like I said, nail some sort of elaborate shapes. Because when it's easier shapes or simpler shapes, it's a lot easier to control and make to work as you're painting. I mean, during this process, I altered it slightly as well, but it wasn't dramatic changes. And drawing this didn't require an underdrawing, because I knew kind of what I wanted to do. So I could just confidently pursue it. I think the biggest difference is if you know what you're going to do and how easy it is. Like if you do a lot of sketching beforehand, it's to explore what's going to be drawn, right? So that you eliminate mistakes. So in this instance, it didn't matter. Is he a scientist? Or maybe more of a doctor? Maybe he needs some more doctor attributes. Maybe one of those. But then it becomes more of a doctor rather than scientist with that thing. Maybe he needs a pocket with pens in it. Don't know. Plastic covers for their feet. All right. Dramatic backlighting, you say? Right. Boom, 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 boom. Blue flame. And then put something like that. And black smoke. Linus Carlson. Yeah, I think it's yeah, I think it's a good thing to do to like start small, right? So you learn. Sometimes you do blow it with a client. It's nothing you can do, you know. Maybe it's a miscommunication, they don't have time, and sometimes you can't really do what they need you to do for some odd reason that it's out of your control. Maybe it's a bad match, you know. Maybe the client thought something and you thought something and it didn't work out and whatever. You know, sometimes it happens. Um, I think it's okay that it happens sometimes that you fail with a client, right? It's the way it is sometimes. All you can do is say like apologize, that maybe you can work again in the future, or, you know, maybe he needs a mustache, like mad scientist mustache with a curl. That's a proper mad scientist right there. A stethoscope for the for the rocket, so you can listen to it. Yeah, that is true. I don't think I have time to do it though. Because time is up. See if there's a quick boost. That's okay. Let's go with something like that. And do a quick little adjustment on top. Alright. Not really what I liked or wanted to do in the end, but it is what it is. The lazy flame blob. Yeah, it's just that's what it is. Let's see if I can move it all. Right. All right. Have a great day. Tormod, on my Facebook and Twitter, I post every day, all of them. I have a Tumblr that is outdated. I'm sure I haven't updated. ArtStation link has some of them. Otherwise, just go in my history, post history. Anyways, thanks for the topic, Michal. Have a great day, everyone. And